everybody. I'm Anita from KetogenicWoman.com, and I'm here doing another solo video. I think the last one went not too bad. If you didn't see it, it was chocolate protein cookies. Today I'm going to do something I've never done before. All the cool kids are doing it on the internet, so I thought, okay, I have to give it a try. So I had this idea, and you know, we all learn from each other, right? Like, this thing has been going around the internet. It's a noodle. And a while back, so let me start from the beginning because there's a story here. A while back, I saw Anne from Keto Asian Flavors make a noodle in her, in her blender using some ingredients that I was not familiar with. So I thought, ooh, that looks pretty cool. And about 6 months ago, when I was out at a local gourmet food type place in my neighborhood, I bought these ingredients. This one is sodium alginate, and I'm sure that many of you already know, as soon as I said that, what noodles I'm going to make. Sodium alginate, 20 bucks for this little thing. However, I did buy it at like a swanky store. I have a feeling I can get, if I like what happens here today, I'm pretty sure I can get a much better deal, online somewhere. So that's that. Oops. The other ingredient they had there was calcium chloride. She said you could use either calcium chloride or calcium citrate, I think it is. This store had the calcium chloride. This was $7.99 for this amount. So here's what my idea was. So I did see that original recipe. She used egg yolk powder or something like that. It was egg based. And then I saw Steve from Serious Keto make the noodles with chicken, which was way more up my alley because of doing carnivore. I've been making a lot of chicken-based noodles, protein noodles. You guys have probably seen all my noodle recipes. I have at least 5, maybe more, noodle videos on YouTube where it involves, blending up chicken and eggs or pork rinds and eggs or whatever have you, and then you lay it on this big mat, bake it, cut it into noodles. It works amazing. You can make wraps with it. Like, I love it. I use it all the time. So the other day, about a week ago, you probably saw the video where I made beef hamburger helper, and I made the noodles out of beef. So I was thinking at the time, gee, I wonder if this would work with Anne's noodle recipe. Now that I had seen Steve do it with his chicken. Today, I happened to catch, it came up in my feed, Kathy from Healthy Ambition. She said the magic words. She said, if you can liquefy it, you can make noodles from it. So I went, oh, hot darn, I'm gonna go and make myself some beef noodles. So here we are. I boiled some extra lean ground beef, and I'm going to weigh out, I think she said 3 ounces. I hope that's right. I'm going to weigh out 3 ounces in here and throw it in my blender. So I just want to move the camera so that you can see all my stuff here. So here's my beef. I've got a scale here. So I'm going to measure out, actually I think it's 3.1 ounces of cooked beef. This is cooled off and drained. I'm going to save the liquid for something, probably some beef soup. Okay, got 3.1 ounces there, so maybe I'll have enough to do this twice. Just going to move that aside. So I've got my beef, and I'm going to put it in the blender. All right, ignore everything else you see in the kitchen. All right, I am going to, I lost my little thingy here. This Vitamix is as old as the hills. I have to pull this thing out because my other little tiny blender is just not going to do it. So first I'm going to liquefy my 3 cups of water plus my 3.1 ounces of extra lean ground beef. Yeah, hopefully I can find my little lid thing at some point. So I'm going to add xanthan gum, half a teaspoon. So that this gums up. Right now it just looks like liquid beef. I'm sure that's not what we want. Okay. Just gonna start adding my sodium alginate. Wow. All right, I have some really thick beef liquid here. So, the next step is to let this sit in a bowl and get off the bubbles. You can probably, well, I don't know, maybe you can or you can't see. The top is full of little bubbles, and so those apparently need to come off, and you have to let this sit for a while and then take them off. I think it was half an hour. Pretty sure it was half an hour to an hour in the fridge. So I'm going to, it might be easier if I do that in a bowl, and so I'm going to just grab something. I love these Pyrex things because they have these spouts for pouring later. That kind of makes life a little easier. I'm just going to pour that in. So the other thing that Anne uses the sodium alginate for is gravies and things like that. And, you know, I've been using xanthan gum for that, and I don't like the feel of xanthan gum, so I actually am really looking forward to playing with that sodium alginate. All right, I'm going to put this in the fridge for half an hour to an hour, and then I'll come back and we'll make the noodles. Okay, everybody, I am back. So I have my mixture here. There's actually not that much in the way of bubbles, but I'm going to take off the ones that I see. Okay. All right, so I have in here this big bowl, 7 cups of water, and I'm going to dissolve a tablespoon of the calcium chloride in here. I sure hope I'm right about this, that she also said calcium chloride. We will soon find out. Just going to keep stirring that until it is dissolved. The water is getting more clear, so I think it's almost dissolved. Okay, well that looks pretty good. So now what I need is, and I really regret the size of this squeeze bottle. It's 8 ounces, and I can see I'm going to be filling it up. Plus it's so skinny. And look at my funnel. I couldn't find my I actually ran out and bought this funnel from the nearest hardware store because I could not find my other one. It's disappeared. And I just used it a few days ago. Anyways, I'm going to carefully put this in here. And I'm sure I'm going to have to fill this up a few times. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna put my lid on. I did cut the hole a little bit bigger because I could see that it was going to be angel hair pasta. So, now, apparently, all we do is turn it upside down and squeeze. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Wow. What kind of witchcraft is this? Holy smokes. Now the only thing is I'm getting it caught on my spatula here. So I'm just going to free that. Okay. I'm sure that if you do this enough time, because I have lots of little circles floating around in there, I think that this is one of those things where you learn a technique. This is crazy. The reason I'm starting and stopping is because if you don't, you end up with one long giant noodle. And I don't want that. But clearly my technique needs work because got a lot of funny looking noodles in here. Okay, I'm gonna refill this and I will keep going and show you the end results later. Okay guys, I have a bowl of noodles here. Some of these are the worst looking noodles I've ever seen. I mean, look at that thing. But some of them look, you know, they look like noodles, and I can see that if I can master the technique, because a lot of these are like twisted up and tied into knots. So I think what I have to do is kind of figure out a method. I mean, it looks like, you know, when you go to the beach and you got these kelp noodles that are these long kelp things and they have heads on them. I have a few of those in here. But wow, okay, so now I have to leave this in the fridge. I think for an hour, maybe more, but I will be back when it's done and we'll give this a taste test. So look at that. Look at all those noodles from 3 ounces of beef. All right, we'll see you guys back in a while. All right, you guys. I have a bowl of noodles here. There's some kind of weird shapes. I'm sure that that's my technique, lack of technique. You know, I have things like this, but I've done it now, so I have to give it a try. I'm just gonna put a few into a bowl here. I'll rinse them. I think I'm supposed to rinse them. Oh, I'm obviously gonna have to go back and watch that video again. Take some of these big balls off. But, you know, overall, I mean, the ones that are thin, they're stretchy, so that's kind of cool. And you can leave, this is like a huge bowl of noodles. You can leave these in this solution for, I think, up to a week. I'm just gonna quickly microwave this and add a little bit of butter to it and some salt and see what I think. All right, I have a warm bowl of noodles. I'm going to put some butter on top. Because I want to try them, you know, without sauce to see what they really taste like. There's my soft buttered noodles. Oh my goodness. I'll just give it a little bite and then I'll maybe put a little bit of cheese on one. Well, one thing's for sure, they don't have that weird taste that you get when you buy those noodles in the plastic bags, like the Miracle noodles. You have to rinse them 1,000 times. Okay, so I've melted the butter in there. Just gonna grab some cheese. So they're a little squeaky in my teeth, but not in too bad of a way. I'm just telling you guys what to expect. Now, and I'm wondering if I didn't leave them long enough, or I know there's a softening step. I've heard there's a softening step. Well, I think other than how funny I made them look, you know, they really are close to noodles. They don't have a lot of flavor. I know when I made my beef noodles last week, you could really taste the beef in them. But because this is so watered down, there's 3 cups of water to 3 ounces of beef, and mine was 3.5 ounces of beef with egg, raw eggs and egg whites and salt. You know, you're gonna taste that beef still. So this is a much more neutral flavor with all the water, and that's not a bad thing, because I think that for a lot of people, really what they want to taste is what's on top of the noodles and not the noodles themselves, and so this is good. So I'm going to try to work on my technique, but think about the application here. So in January, I'm considering doing beef butter and egg fast, or whatever it's called. I don't think it's not a fast because you're eating, but beef butter and egg, beef, BBBE. And imagine having beef noodles with butter. I won't be able to put the cheese on, but it could be one of those things, you know, beef noodle soup. I mean, there's good applications for this, and so I want to probably keep working on this, get my technique right so I don't have these big globs of noodle in the mix there. But this is really cool, and I'm glad I tried the technique. I mean, my manual dexterity isn't the greatest, but I'm sure I'll master that. So I'll keep you posted on anything new that I try with this, and maybe right before January I'll know enough to be able to do it again and hopefully answer some of your questions about it, and come up with some recipes using these noodles. So I'll see you guys soon on the next video. Hope you give it a try. And thank you again to Kathy from Healthy Ambitions. I will link her video below, and also Keto Asian Flavors. You know, I think she was the first one on YouTube that was showing these noodles in the keto space anyways. I don't know about any other, but yeah, thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next video.